Hello, and welcome to Let's Play SimCity 4 with me, X2X. I finished the World of Warcraft playthrough. I really like how it went. I'm very, very happy. And now we're going to play something a little bit different than WoW. Now that we got World of Warcraft under our belt, we've gotten our teeth wet and our feet cut. We're gonna start off with some SimCity. SimCity 4 is a city building game developed by Maxis. If you don't know, it's the original. I think the original SimCity is probably one of the original city building games. I'm sure there will be some neckbeard out there who corrects me to tell me who actually designed the first city building game. But I don't think I'm stepping too far out on a limb to say SimCity has developed the best city building games. There's a couple of different versions of SimCity. This one is number 4. It's the most recent in the SimCity releases. It's pretty old. I think it's 10 years old. But the most recent, sort of in the Sim area game, is called SimCity Societies, and I don't actually count that as a true SimCity game. So we're going to continue on with our theme of teaching people who want to learn how to play video games, how to play SimCity 4. The biggest thing that SimCity 4 is going to do that is going to be, or that I'm going to do with SimCity 4 that is going to be different than what other people do is I'm more of a macro scale builder. I like to build and focus on my overall region instead of trying to micromanage each little city. I will develop each city a certain way, and you'll get to see how I like to play and how I think that this game was sort of designed to be played a little bit. So what we've done is we've started up the game, and we've loaded a region by going to here and picked a region. I picked the New York region, which doesn't actually start off looking like this. It actually starts off looking like sort of like this, with terrain. You can see the river flowing through. This is the Berlin map, and it's got some different regions. You have or different maps. This one's a large size, these are medium size, and these are small. I actually find that the large size and the small size aren't that useful to me. I like the medium size maps, which is the reason why I chose to go with New York, because it has mostly, you can see, like, I don't think in the scope of this play video we'll cover more than this amount of, each one of these will be its own sort of city. The region itself is, the region itself will develop as we play, and the cities will interact with each other, and I'll show you guys all about that later. This is my region that I'm currently working on by myself right now. You can take a look at it. It's hopefully you don't mock my spelling. It's got about 2.2 million people in it, and quite a few jobs. This region has been played with mods, so I'm not going to show you any of the cities because I don't want to muck it up. This playthrough will be no mods. This is the virgin game. There's just been some Steam has some updates that you install through the game. And they'll fix some of the problems. Not many. I do believe that to really enjoy SimCity 4, you have to have modifications. But I'm going to do an unmodded playthrough and a modded playthrough, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what the differences between SimCity 4 is and SimCity 4 with mods. I really love this game. I've played hundreds of hours of it. It's definitely one of my favorite video games right now, and I think probably it'll be one of my favorite video games of all time, right up there with, like, American Final Fantasy 3 and all of those really great games that I love to play. I've always loved city builder games, but I've always been really terrible at them. I would get to this point where I would just plateau, and I would have no growth, and I would have no idea what I was doing, and there'd be tons of problems, and wouldn't be able to make any money. And I'm going to show you pretty much step by step how to be successful at SimCity 4. That is, how to have thriving cities. Not all of them are going to be profitable, but sometimes, me being the lefty that I am, sometimes you have to have cities that take a loss so that your other cities can succeed. Now, this isn't something we're going to be targeting to do. Obviously, we want all our cities to be profitable, but sometimes, sometimes you know, cities won't have the luxury of making money. So to get the region map to look like I did, I deleted all the terrain by going to this button and clicking delete. Okay, that gives me basically just total plains. I'm not going to do any terraforming. Terraforming isn't my thing. You know, some people they like mountains and rivers and streams. They like their cities to look beautiful. I like my cities to just be flat plains. You know, I imagine that I sent a crew in earlier and they just leveled everything. There's no resources that I need to get that I can't get on these maps that would be offered. The only thing that we really don't have access to will be to marinas, and the gameplay through marinas, but it's not that important. We'll use other methods. So this will be the virgin playthrough. I have no cities built on this map. I'm not using any modifications at all. No, and no installed buildings. So no money trees, no demand hikes, nothing like that. This will be totally a virgin playthrough. We're going to have an overall theme of our region. It's going to be a popular Canadian TV show. If you don't know where these references are coming from, just try putting Trailer Park Boys into the search engine in YouTube and you'll sort of get a sense for where everything's coming from. Might not make sense to a lot of Americans because the show is really Canadian, like really Canadian. But I like the show and I like SimCity, so I'm gonna bounce those two things sort of off each other, see if we can't have a little fun with it. And the only thing you really need to do at this point in the game when you're learning the game is start off as basic as you can, and I think that terrain is just gonna get in your way. So without further ado, as Grimmeth would say, let's get on with it. Let's play some SimCity. So we're gonna start a new city by double clicking this tile. And we're going to get a whole bunch of options. These are all the God mode options. We can adjust what time the city will be at. You know, if we want, you know, for example, if we want day and night cycles. I prefer to actually play at nighttime. It's kind of weird. I don't know why I do that. But we'll go day and night cycles just for fun. These are all disasters. You know, if you want to make a robot attack. If you want to shoot a lightning bolt. Because you can get that, you can get that through here. You know, you can in your Sims. Sorry, that's probably pretty loud. Auto source wreck. So yeah, that's our disasters area. Some people have a lot of fun with disasters. It's not my thing. This button will actually like reconcile the edges of your city. So say if you have a city next to this one that has like lots of mountains and all that kind of stuff, you'd reconcile edges and it'll fix it so that all your edges match up. All your edges along here match up. Not a button we need. This one is terrain effects. So you have erode, you know, smooth, rise the terrain level, shrink the terrain level. And this one you can plant animals, you can plant trees, and you can do a whole bunch of other things. I'm not going to touch any of this because the truth is I don't particularly want to. I like a nice flat terrain. It's the easiest to build on. I can make that cloud disappear if I want. And I can give you guys the best intro tutorial to SimCity on this. Now, some people will like to do sort of God mode terrain leveling to make their cities look quite creative, and you can manipulate the desirability of your locations. Pause the game. You can manipulate the desirability of your locations through terrain. So like housing located by the water is going to be more demand, housing, all that kind of stuff. This literally gives you green, which is good, demand all across the board. And then the demand for all of your different areas in SimCity is going to change. If you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry. I'm gonna give you as basic as I can. So we're gonna start off a new city. We're gonna call it Sunnyvale. And everybody knows the trailer park supervisor in Sunnyvale is Jim Leahy. The trailer park supervisor. I don't know if you spell that right, but I'm gonna add an extra E just for fun. I'm playing on easy. You know, some people may want to play on different difficulties. I think SimCity 4 is hard enough that I like to play on easy because I like to see good growth and minimum amount of problems and make the game the most playable. It might seem kind of strange to be tuning into somebody's video to watch them play a game on easy, but trust me, I've never seen anybody play SimCity on hard, and I'm not sure if it's actually possible unmodded to do it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are people out there who can jam it in on hard. Easy. The only downside is that you get way more advice, which isn't that great. But we're gonna go ahead and establish our city, and usually there's some fireworks. There we go, fireworks. So we get a whole bunch of things here. These are our city opinion polls. Since nobody lives here, they're all neutral. All of these buttons do stuff, different things, and I'll cover all of those things. There's two things we need to take away right away. First thing is our budget. Okay, this is where you look. This is the window that I will keep open most often. Not like this, but just like this. It has a whole bunch of information in it. Just for right now, all you have to know is that you want to be making money and you don't want to be losing money. Alright, because you have a certain number of simoleons to start. We start with 500,000. Now, that being said, the most important button we have is our RCI indicators. Now, I just put it up to cheetah speed just to give us a little bit, just to populate these. And right now, what we have demand for is 1 simoleon residential, which is low wealth residents. We have commercial, and actually, I think that says C3. But I'm not 100% sure the actual name of it. It's not that important. All of the commercials that are not CO are stores. Stores and retail outlets, basically. You can also include things like repair shops and things like that in this. CO is office buildings. Commercial is where your money comes from for the most part. If you ever have commercial demand and aren't making money, build commercial. That's straightforward advice. So we have a couple of types of industry here. All right, we have agricultural industry, which is farming. We have dirty industry, which is like tubing factories and paper mills. We have manufacturing, which is like building cars, building tires. Oh, maybe tires are dirty. Anyway, just a whole bunch of different manufacturing industries. And then we have high tech, and high tech is like microchips. The great thing about high-tech industry in SimCity 4 is that high-tech industry is really clean. It creates almost no pollution. Whereas these three are your primary pollution candidates. And we're going to try to isolate these three to keep them away, as far as possible away from our big residential centers. That way, we don't struggle with a pollution problem. And you'll see what I mean in how we manage our industry. And so the way in which we can manipulate these is there are sort of two categories. This category is people, the residential categories. So each of these will grow depending on certain set of factors. We have right now just low wealth residential, which essentially means that we have no jobs. What we have is we have people willing to move in, but we have no jobs. We have a little bit of commercial, and this commercial is to support that, which is just a little bit of stores to sell to these little bit of people. And then we have a little bit of industrial demand. These are sort of your start-off things. The game just sort of hands them to you and is like, here, do what you will with these. You're going to notice that this is going to change a lot when I start building. The main thing to remember is there's two categories, people and jobs. Anything in here classifies as work. So anything from the commercial section, low wealth commercial, to high-tech manufacturing all constitute jobs and all constitute a certain number of jobs. And the only way to increase residential demand is by creating jobs. It's literally that simple. It's people and jobs. The more jobs you have, the more people will want to move into your cities, and the more these residential graphs will grow. And we have some nice indicators here telling us exactly how much we need. So we have probably demand for about 1,500 sims, maybe that's more like 1,000 sims, 1,000 commercial jobs, and just about 2,000 industrial jobs. So this city right here, being Sunnyvale, is actually going to be a farming village. And when I start building, you guys will start to see it become a full animal. The first thing we're going to do in any city is we're going to lay out our main drags. That is how people are going to get in and out of the city, because people will actually travel to the cities that are bordering on Sunnyvale here. So right here and right here is the map, the world map. There's nothing, no people can travel out in these directions. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay down a main avenue, alright, and we're going to hit accept. We're going to lay down another main avenue, and this says, would you like to connect it to SimNations? Connections are the first step in creating neighborhood deals with adjacent cities. Road and rail connections can improve